on? It's Mr. Clutch Gaming back with a little video, three-part video that I'm going to do on kind of a raid gear guide for hard mode and normal mode on each of the classes. First we're going to do the Warlock, and we're going to go over subclasses first. Now, for the Warlock, you can pretty much go with whatever you want for the duration of the normal mode raid, but for hard mode you definitely want to equip self-res and either solar grades or fusion grenades, your choice. Having the grenades is really helpful, especially the solar grenades, because the enemies will walk into them and die. It's very helpful. But as far as self-res goes, you know, it's very basic. Self-res, throw grenades, melee, flame shield, obviously. You can do sunburst. I prefer radiant will, so I can spam as many grenades as I can when I self-revive. 2 grenades. Angel touch of flame if you want, and if you want to use firebolt grenades, you obviously can. As far as Stormcaller goes, you're gonna want to use your choice of the grenades. For Golgoroth, you are gonna want to use the pulse grenades if you can, to throw them behind you in the pit, especially on hard mode, so that the ads won't kill you as they're coming out. But I prefer the storm grenades. And shit, I dropped my mic. You're gonna want to run landfall, or if you have the, I don't have them, but if you have the impossible machines, those will give you landfall, so you can run superconductor. For Thunderstrike, I prefer amplitude, which gives it a better range, but chain lightning definitely isn't bad. There's a lot worse things. I run a lot of armor and agility because I'm usually not running on my Warlock. You want to run electrostatic mine, since most of the raid are near your friends. So you run electrostatic mine to try and to get your super up quickly for things like when you're doing the totems. If you're confident enough, you can run this in the hard mode raid. It's not preferred. And then Transcendence. So make sure when you pop your super, you watch your grenade and melee. Now, as far as Voidwalker goes, you can go with any typical Voidwalker setup. I prefer Vortex with Lifesteal, or if you had the RAM, you could switch this for Soul Rip. Excuse me. Annihilate, I prefer the Hunger. I never really liked Energy Drain. I was never amazed by the Warlock grenades, but I suppose if you're going to run Vortex grenades, the Hunger can be used, but I just prefer Annihilate. Armor and Agility, and I prefer Bloom. You can use Embrace the Void and Vortex Mastery. Those are not terrible options, but I just prefer Bloom. And that's it for the subclasses. Now let's go over weapons for the duration of the raid. Now, as far as weapons and armor go, your armor is based on what you want to run, what aligns with your subclass. I have the Blind Jackal mask because that's the highest level helmet I have for my Warlock. I don't play on him a lot. Now, for the duration of the raid, up until about the Sisters, the primary weapon is completely your choice. I have the Scout Rifle with full auto, which I prefer to use a lot. Then I also have the Pulse Rifle, which I think is very good. I would probably like it better if it had Firefly instead of Life Heal or whatever. And then I have my 310 Hawk Saw, because I just think that thing's a beast. As far as special weapons go, for the duration of the raid, you can keep Black Spindle on until you hit Sisters. Black Spindle is a great choice for the raid. Either this or the Irene is what I found is best for the War Priest and Golgoroth, and just boomers and the totems. I haven't had the chance to compare the damage numbers between the two yet. I'm assuming that Black Spindles is higher, has more ammo carried, and it reloads quicker regardless, Or no, it doesn't. It reloads quicker if you get all the shots. But, I don't know. I haven't had the chance to test those numbers. But from what people tell me, Black Spindle is better. Although in the beginning part, when you're opening the portal, you can use a shotgun, because most high-impact shotguns like the Patch A and the Strongbow D will one-shot the doors if you're close enough. And then for the rest of the raid, once you equip an exotic in either your primary or your heavy slot, I recommend using either the Yasmin or the Irene. So you can see I have my Yasmin here. I get lots of use from it. It's very good for duration of the raid. And for your heavy, you're going to want to go with either a machine gun, a sword, or sleeper stimulant. Not stimulant. Swords, I don't have the solar sword yet, but from what I'm told and what I've seen, the solar sword is the most effective towards the end of the raid if you are a runner at Oryx to take the vessel down really easily. But if you don't have your solar sword and you're not a runner, Quillam's Terminus is definitely the best choice. I would not recommend using a rocket launcher. They just don't get the job done as easily. As you can see, I have my Quillam's Terminus right here with persistence and extended mag, all the good stuff. And by the time this goes up, War Priest Challenge will be next week, so make sure you run that to try to get one of these and one of these. Those are sexy, sexy guns. Now, as you get farther into the raid, you'll become more inclined to use certain themes on your own, aka runner, gaze holder, or those types of things. For the aura on War Priest, I have found that the Quillam's Terminus, on hard mode, if you're above 307, I think, you will two-shot headshot them in the head, and it fires quick enough to where you can be at 1 second, kill a guy, and you got the full duration, the full 9 seconds out of the initiate. If you don't like that, you can use your scout rifle or your smite. Just don't use anything with Firefly, because I have seen Firefly kill 2 enemies at once, completely ruin the run. As far as holding the gaze goes, on Golgoroth, you're going to want to either use your Mida. If you have one, I think the Mida works very well, that fast reload. Or, I don't have one, but a good, right here. The Hollow Supercell works very well for it too. Mine's not 310, but the Hollow Supercell is another good option. Or Pulse Rifles. No Time to Explain, I've been told, is not the worst option with the rewind again, but I think compared to Mida has a quicker reload. Unless you're hitting all the precision hits, then I don't think so. So Mida multi-tool might be the best weapon for taking that, or the Hollow Supercell. If you have one of those two, I would definitely recommend using that. And as far as that, for the rest of the raid, depending on what part you're playing, even if you're probably going to want to use Touch of Malice once you beat Golgoroth, just because it's overpowered on Sisters. Although I do recommend that not your whole team uses Touch of Malice. Have 1 or 2 people using something else. Maybe the runner and one of the guys in the middle taking out ads. Because I feel like, once you get into the shade, your only source of damage, is, unless you have a bubble to put up in there, is going to be your special, your heavy, and your grenades. But this is usually what I run once I beat Golgoroth. This is usually what I run up until after Golgoroth. But after that, I put on my Yasmin, I put on my Touch of Malice, and we just rock the rest of the raid out. So anyway, guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video today, and I hope this seriously helps you out in your endeavors.